Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of Compelling Insights. Simple wisdom drawn from complex and profound experiences. My name is Himanshu Saxena. Today is the second last day of my 20 days long excursion to the mountains of Ladakh region. As a thinker, writer and speaker and coach, I'm always looking for opportunities to simplify things for my coaching clients. They often have tough problems to deal and frequently have lots of variety of questions, sometimes simple, sometimes intriguing. And my job is to simplify those problems for them and help them find their own answers to simple but effective means. Very often, these leaders are highly successful and senior people. Yet, they find themselves struggling when it comes to modeling behavioral change. When it comes to shaping the behaviors of their team, they often find themselves struggling. In today's conversation, I'm going to talk about how to model behavioral change, how to shape the behaviors of the team and the circle of influence that I'm operating. This is a question a leader asked me during one of the coaching conversations. He said, I have a problem. My team doesn't listen to me, and in general, their listening quotient is quite low. Not a very unusual phenomena. The world is generally short of listeners. Listening as a habit is generally going down the drain. So, I decided to turn the question on its head and put it back to him. I said, as a leader, what or how will you rate your ability to listen on a scale between 1 to 10, 10 being the highest? He took some time and he came with a prompt response. It is somewhere between 7 and 8. I decided to push the question a little deep and I asked him, how fair is your response? Does your workplace behaviors justify the score between 7 and 8? This time it took a rather long time and he said, I don't think I deserve more than 4. I asked, why do you think so? He said, no, my workplace behaviors do not justify a score of more than 4. I said, okay, can you identify and list down those workplace behaviors and share with me? It took some time, good about 5 minutes time, and he came up with 5 to 6 key behaviors. The first behavior, he said, my mind is full of inner chatter. I said, all right. Second, he said, I'm always in a hurry to push across my point of view. I said, that's fair enough. Third, he said, I tend to complete the sentences of my team. I said, great going, go on. Fourth, he said, I don't think I acknowledge their suggestions, ideas, and points of view. So this is a indicative list of behaviors that he shared. At this point of time, I told him to do a comparative exercise. I told him, draw a table. On the right side, you put the behaviors of your team. On the left side, you put the behaviors of yourself that you have identified and juxtapose them and see what really emerges. He went through the comparative list of behaviors on either side and he was in a monologue form. He said, I can see the cause and effect linkage. He said, since my mind is full of inner chatter, my team is in a hurry to push across their point of view. Since I don't acknowledge their suggestions, ideas, they don't feel respected and cared for. Since I tend to complete their sentences, they feel unheard. They feel unexpressed. When he drew the cause and effect linkage, after a while he said, now I know why my team does not listen to me well. I said, why? He said, because I am myself not a good listener. And I am responsible for the behaviors when it comes to listening of my team. And in order to model the behavior of my team, I need to remodel myself. I need to be a better listener. I need to demonstrate more patient listening. Now, this was a great self-awareness and insight that this leader was able to draw from just 20-30 minutes of exercise. Every time you want to bring a new behavior, begin with self. Look at, are you demonstrating the ideal behaviors before you expect from others? Let me give you some examples which will help you relate to. If you want the team to listen well to you, you better listen to them. If you want the team to look up to you, be the lighthouse of knowledge, character, wisdom, and thought leadership. If you want the team to be creative, ask them tough and challenging questions. If you want the team to scale up, give them more challenging assignments. This is how you remodel or model the behavioral changes. Identify your behaviors, do an audit yourself, and see how subconsciously or inadvertently you are contributing to that behavioral dynamics. This is my message from you on the second last day of my excursion to Ladakh mountain. Stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you.